He was also a part of the Harvard LSD studies, which is fun.
You had John Lyle on, didn't you? The guy that did, the historian from Texas. He looked at the founding of the CIA, and then his new book was about MKUltra. I sent him your way.
What was this?
Yes, we did episode.
Let me see what he looks like.
130 episodes ago.
Let me see what he looks like.
Yeah, I sent him over to you. I sent a photo of the book, and you were like, "Oh yeah, this guy fucking rules." And then he came on, and I enjoyed the episode.
Show me a photo of him, Jimmy. That's right. He was great.
Project Mind Control.
He was great.
John rules. But
I just forgot his name. But he was excellent.
Yeah, I mean, he's gone.
Shout out to John. My apologies, sir.
John Lyle rules.
My hard drive is overfull.
Yeah, 2,000 episodes. You're allowed to do that.
I think it's almost 3. Yeah, you add Fight Companions and all the other stuff. What are we at?
Yeah, it's got to be close.
Yeah,
Crackers.
it's a lot of hours of bullshit.
But yeah, he's talking about MKUltra and this desire. What was really, really interesting was I learned from Danny Trejo.
Really?
Yeah.
From
so,
Danny?
Yeah. So Danny told me this story about him spending time in jail with Charles Manson. So Danny Trejo was in jail with Charles Manson at the same time.
I think I saw this on your show.
Dude, fucking wild as shit. So Little Charlie, Danny calls him, Little Charlie, he was getting bullied. He didn't even have a belt. He just had a piece of rope around his waist. And Charles Manson was able to hypnotize people into getting loaded. So he was able to get them high on heroin through hypnotism.
What?
So Danny and his other cellmates that are like these, big dudes around the yard. He hears that this guy can get you high just by talking to you. So they bring him into their cell and they say, "We're going to protect you," because he was getting beat up, he was getting bullied and stuff around the prison. They bring him into their cell and they look after him. And sure enough, he's able to get them loaded on heroin. One of the guys that's in the cell had never taken heroin before. And the way that they knew how Charles was doing this was that Danny and the other guy that had done heroin before threw up. Apparently when you take heroin, sometimes you can vomit. The third guy who'd never done it before didn't, because he didn't know to do that. So they weren't able to reactivate his memories. The fascinating thing was...
Did he get high?
I don't know what he thought happened, but he didn't get high on heroin because he never had it. They weren't able to reactivate that memory. But Danny's telling me, this is the fascinating thing. There's no evidence, according to John, there's no evidence that Charles Manson was a part of MKUltra. I'm sure that he told you that story on the show. Doesn't seem to be. Him going and doing his original research, it doesn't seem to be the case.
I don't buy that.
I was waiting for you to fucking have that argument with him. I knew that you were passionate about that. But here's the interesting thing.
Tom O'Neill, I'm in his camp.
Regardless of whether or not he was or he wasn't, the CIA were looking at ways to do mind control by using psychedelics. What they should have done is just gone to Charles Manson and said, "Can you tell us how you're using hypnotism and eccentricity and charm?" Because he was unbelievably effective without needing to even step into the psychedelic thing, and then he could layer that on top.
But so wasn't there evidence that Jolly West visited Manson in prison?
Maybe. That's again, I need to ring John, find out what he says.
Yeah, ring John and get him and John and Tom in a room together. Because Tom O'Neill is convinced that Jolly West was a part of it, which is why Manson kept getting out every time he got arrested. And they would say, it's, above my pay grade. They had to let him go. Even when there was a murder charge, he got out of that. It
does seem, looking at John's most recent book, though, MKUltra wasn't particularly, at least what he's able to see, MKUltra wasn't very good at doing what it was supposed to do. At the blank slating of people, at the...
Right. But this is a different thing, right? This is like the ultimate expression of it. Mm-hmm. You're taking people and you're giving them LSD, and then you're teaching a guy how to hypnotize people. And he's teaching them to do LSD while they think he's on LSD and he's not. So he's guiding their delusions while they're out of their fucking head. Mm-hmm. And he's doing it based on all the Harvard LSD studies, all the data that they have on what they can and can alter about a person's behavior, about their view of the world. Like, they turn people completely fucking insane and ruin people's lives in those studies. And so they had some understanding of what there was stuff that was kind of nonsense. I don't know if they got anything out of it, like Midnight Climax, where they dosed up the Johns in the brothels and they watched them through a two-way mirror. I don't think they got anything out of that. Like, what'd they get out of that other than like watching people freak out when they don't?
Someone killed themselves. Someone threw themselves out of a window.
One guy did, right? That's so crazy. Only one guy.
Out of all of the people that were drugged with that much LSD.
Yeah, you can kind of say that guy was probably going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But the reality is they were actively involved in manipulating a lot of different things about our culture. And this was one of the methods that they were doing. And that they effectively threw water on the anti-war movement by connecting the like flower children and the hippies and all these people that were anti-war with these murderous psychopaths that were in a cult, that were engineered by this one guy who has a connection to Jolly West, who's the guy who's in charge of MKUltra, who's doing psychedelic studies on people, and Manson's getting LSD, and Manson's giving LSD to all these hippies, and Manson is getting away with all these different things, and Manson gets people to kill people. And then the hippie movement dies with Manson, dude. It fucking dies.
Is that what happened?
Oh, yeah. It died that, and it also died with Nixon and this Controlled Substances Act, where they just started putting people in jail, man.
Why do you think they needed that to happen?
Because the anti-war movement. The anti-war movement and the civil rights movement were real threats in this country. Real threats to power, real threats to the people that were in control. People did not want Vietnam. Vietnam is the most unpopular war ever, probably next to this Iran war. You know, only history will tell how this Iran war plays out, if it'll be more unpopular. But the Vietnam War went on forever. And it was insanely unpopular. It was based on a lie. It was based on a false flag. Outgoing CIA Director Richard Helms ordered the destruction of most of the records related to Project MKUltra. Oh, well, how convenient. The agency's illegal mind control and drug testing program. Fuckers. These fuckers, man. You know, they only found out about some of the stuff because they found some records that hadn't been destroyed. This is also in Tom O'Neill's book, In Chaos, which I recommend every week. It's the best book, man. It's the best book ever because Tom worked on it for more than 20 fucking years. He went crazy researching that book. He was supposed to be just writing an article on the anniversary of the Manson murders, like how horrible it was. And then as he gets in, he's like, holy, this guy was fucking corrupt as shit. Who's this motherfucker? And like,
I love when people lose their mind like that. I think when somebody finds a rabbit hole and just keeps on going down and down and down, it becomes their life.
Yeah.
You know, these are the videos. Every so often, it was in the build-up to the most recent McGregor fight, people were sharing videos of him doing his Ido Portal movement from sort of 2016, 2017, and he's in that old gym in Straight Blast Gym Island, and there's the yellow walls, and he's doing sort of snaky stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody captioned it, and they said something like, this is like watching a prime Renaissance artist at work bringing together the Sistine Chapel or something. You know, just build it. It's almost sacred to watch this thing happen.